Hello and welcome to EnterJoel football show. I'll be talking about Chelsea and some football teams around the world. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comments and subscribe if you like it. So, welcome to the show. So, it's midnight, Wednesday night. Is it Wednesday? No, sorry, it's a Tuesday night because you know what that means. It's Champions League night. Oh, yes, it's a Champions League night. I can't wait. I bet you can't wait to watch this. Do you know why? Because Jose Mourinho is returning to Stamford Bridge as an opposition manager. I can't believe it. He's a Benfica manager. He's going back to where he started with Benfica many years ago, and now he's there in his second spell as Benfica manager. Now, the surprising thing for me, he is very popular, and I'm glad that he is popular because he is the most successful manager at Chelsea. So, yes, he is popular. I know that he is more popular than some of the managers at the moment. I'm going to, like the press conference of Jose Mourinho. There were more journalists than at Enzo Maresca's press conference. It's saying something. It really said something. So it's I don't know what's going on with our current manager. I mean, to be honest, Enzo Maresca. I mean, he has won 6 games so far. If you talk in the time frames, I don't really know the records off my head, but I do know that ever since we won the World Club Cup in the final against Paris Saint-Germain, and you know, you we thrashed them. We absolutely thrashed them in that final. So I just kind of, and now we're just sort of seems to be having a massive discipline problem. I mean, I don't know whether he is trying to copy what Man City's doing, trying to do a tactical foul, but it seems like Chelsea or the way Enzo Maresca, I don't really know why, why are we fouling the players in their goal scoring opportunities? And I don't know why we're doing that. I don't know why ever since Nicholas Jackson, when he was at, when he was at Chelsea, he got sent off twice as well. And it just seems like there is something going on. So I don't know. And yes, Count Ravioli, Maresca's choice and timing and the subs is a big mystery. It's a very weird thing. When you're 10 men down, and okay, fair enough. If you're 10 minutes into the game, you might have to be a little bit defensive. But it is a very weird thing. He's decided to sub many players and thought, do you know what? We'll take a loss on this one, and then the hope for the better, we will try and get the win the next game. Now, having said that, Enzo Maresca seems to be like a counterlater manager. He seems to counterlate some sort of games. He's thinking, you know what, we'll take a loss there. I don't really care what the fans say about this. So we'll just move on or hope to move on. But it's not Chelsea's mentality. It's not Chelsea's mentality. When you're going down 10 men and you're like, you know what? We'll take a loss. That is not on. That is not on. That is wrong. So it doesn't matter if you're, if you're 10 minutes into the game, you should be attacking, attacking, attacking. So, yeah. So it is what it is. And yes, Hall Kane, yes, it is a real super grass field. I took that photo a couple of days ago near where I live. So, yeah, and I thought it'd be a good background for this football chat. So, let me take a sip of water. So, if you have any questions, anything, like, subscribe if you like it. Let's do this. So, yes, there are a lot of rumours about Enzo Maresca's petition at Chelsea, but I don't know whether the rumours are true or not. But it is what it is. So we just have to go with the flow, what the media says. I mean, I don't really believe anything what's written in the media. But the way it was shocking. It was shocking to have a back to back loss. I don't mind if we had a back to back loss, but in the manner how we lost those games. I mean, when we played against Brighton on Saturday, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my eyes when I watched the highlights of it. And I just couldn't believe it how we lost that game because we were winning in the winnable position, and I don't understand why we lost and decided, Chalabar decided to, I don't know whether it's instant or whether you feel like you had to do it, you know, denied a scoring opportunity. But if you think about the game earlier on that Saturday, when Brentford played against Man United, a very, very similar thing happened. But the Brentford player didn't get sent off for that. And I'm thinking, you know, I don't really want to put a point against Brentford, but I think if Man United managed to get the penalty there could have been a draw. So what I'm saying is, yes. So it is what it is. But yeah. So anything you want to write down? Football questions? Anything? Any comments? Anything? So yeah, I know. I do have memories of Jose Mourinho when he was there in the first spell and the second spell. So yeah, I just think it's just. I think Jose Mourinho is a much better manager than Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca, I don't want to say it, but it feels lazy. It feels lazy in the way he sets the team up with the tactics and the way he does with his game management. Where Jose Mourinho has passion, he has, the game management right, and he reads the game. I mean, okay, fair enough. He used to be, I think he used to be the defender, and actually defenders who sort of like okay defenders in the past, but will go on to be much better manager or the greatest manager because they are the ones who can read the game. So yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? So any thoughts you might have? I'm just going to take the sip of water. I'm going to sip clean. So, I watched Everton versus West Ham tonight, and I'll be honest, the game wasn't exciting at all. It wasn't exciting at all. You know, the amount of chances, the opportunities, it was just so dire. But I thought West Ham were a much better team than when Graham Potter's last game, or the last few previous games when Graham Potter was the manager of West Ham. But tonight, they seem to be a much better team. I think the morale has improved, or obviously they might have to. I think they have to impress the new manager. But it's just a weird timing of when Graham Potter was talking about face swap memes and stuff like that in the press conference. And he got the sack the next day. And Nuno Santos, the guy from Nottingham Forest, came in and became a West Ham manager. It's just a very weird timing. And speaking of weird timings, there's a lot of managerial, um, go around sort of thing, as they call it. And it just feels like it's just so weird. I can't believe he's a West Ham manager. I just can't believe he is a West Ham manager. So it is what it is. So if you have any comments, any likes about football, where are you from? Who do you support? It'll be good to know. So, what else is there? What else has happened in the football world? Oh yes, that award thing that FIFA do. Dembele is one of the world's best player apparently, and I'm thinking he. I mean, okay, he may be a great player, but he plays for Paris Saint-Germain in the Farmers League. And yeah, fair enough, they won the Champions League last season, but it just feels like, if Celtic won the Champions League, but they have been dominating for years in their league, so it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel that intense when you're watching the French league. I mean, they have some great footballing sides in France, but the league is not like the Premier League, where you can have let's say the last few seasons, we had about at least 7 different Premier League winners compared to the French league, where the French league would be dominated and won by Paris Saint-Germain almost a decade, well, even more of it a decade. So it is what it is. So I can't wait to watch the Champions League tonight against Benfica. I know it will be a very tough game. It will be so tough for both managers to work out how are we going to win the game, and how do we beat Benfica? How do we beat Jose Mourinho? I mean, I just think, I think for Chelsea it will be really, really hard with the injuries that we have, and I just think Jose Mourinho Benfica might win the game. I'm sorry to say, even though I am biased Chelsea fan, but I got to think with my head rather than my heart, because at the moment we're not playing great. We are not playing great, Something's going on at Chelsea. I don't know why Enzo Maresca is trying to play maths at some of the games. I mean, I don't know why he's sort of like becoming lazy and just to feel like, you know what, we'll take a loss there. Where Jose Mourhino wouldn't have it. He wouldn't have it. The way we played against Brighton, if Jose Mourhino was there, we would have probably got a win or maybe a goal scoring draw. And maybe on the game against Man United, we could have won that game if Jose Mourinho was there, or a more experienced winning mentality manager. So it is what it is. But when I play Football Manager, the game on the computer, and I'm a bit more attacking when it comes to, being 10 men down. You got to go for it. You got to go for it. Okay, you may lose the game, but at least you tried. That's the most important thing in football, is to try and win at any cost. But I don't know what's going on at Chelsea. I don't know why there are rumours that if it's true that it's being reported that the Chelsea board have decided to back Enzo Maresca in the upcoming games, like tonight against Benfica and also the one against Liverpool. And I don't know why, but if it's true that his position is untenable, I don't know what to say about that. But it is what it is. So if you have any footballing questions, any comments, anything you want to ask me, you can write down there. So, is there anything what we could do to improve at Chelsea? I know the modern going Chelsea fans, rather than the fans who have been there for a long time, for like 20 years, 30 years. I don't know whether there is a generational shift going on. But for me, I'm trying to be looking into the middle and be positive. Yes, the atmosphere could be amazing at times. I know other times could be a lot more better. And in the times of cost of living situation around the world, I just wish football clubs can be like on certain match days, give out free tickets and, and improve the atmosphere that way. I mean, yeah, there are some sort of, YouTubers who go there and, basically flog the whole game, where I'm thinking maybe you just need to turn the camera around, look at what's happening on the pitch, and then look back to you, take photos, and that's it. So, and I think the match going fans, they are, it's modern shift going from the paper tickets to a digital tickets. And match day programs are slowly phasing out at some clubs. And I think there needs to be a balance. So, but what can you do about it? I mean, do you fight with change or do you move with the change? I know that some Chelsea fans are unsure about our owners, because our owners likes to put in so many places of change, and they have made many changes in the last few months. Well, in the last year or so, and where Roman Abramovich, one of the greatest owner in Chelsea's history, I don't think he would make those sort of changes like the dugout club where you pay £5,000 to watch the game. I mean, I hope you can meet the players before and after and maybe have a decent meal with that. I know that you'll be sitting behind the dugout areas, but I'm just thinking it's taking seats away from the normal fans. And, I just think the crowd needs to be singing songs again, But I will see when I go to Stamford Bridge and put opinion about myself there and see what it's like. I mean, I have been to a recent Brentford game, and their atmosphere is so much better than what's going on at Chelsea and some other clubs. Maybe they, like Brentford fans have more passion, going to the matches and sing songs. But I don't know. It's like Man City's atmosphere feels so empty and quiet. And, it must be so boring when you're winning all the time and you start to choose which games you want to go to. And I feel like, if you're bored of winning and you don't really want to go to many FA Cup matches because you feel like that Man City will go through to the next round. Where I love the passion of Crystal Palace fans. I mean, I know a few Crystal Palace fans, and they are the most passionate bunch in the Premier League. This is my opinion, so don't go like, sort of thing. But I'm just saying, from my point of view, I think Brentford, Crystal Palace, and I would say Burnley are the most passionate Premier League club fans going. And I just wish Man United will, maybe one day they will get back to being an all singing and, get back to where they were. But, I don't really hate other clubs. I mean, in the past I used to, but now I have grown up and thinking we got to support each other, But yeah, I'm disappointed about the way we lost against Man United, though. That is, um, and the manager's petitions there is sort of like save this job for another day. So what's happening at Man United is just feels so strange, so strange. One day they're announcing that they don't have any money to spend on players. They had to maybe sack a few tea ladies, and then the next day you hear that they want a new stadium, and I'm thinking, you're not a circus. You are a football club. Yeah, I know you've got to go through tough times because Chelsea are going through tough times, and we came out with two major trophies. And I'm thinking, Man United, yes, they might have to struggle for another few seasons to get the right type of player with the right mentality to go forward and you know what? And say, we can win something. I mean, if you look at Marcus Rashford, the guy he's thriving at Barcelona. It feels like a breath of fresh air. And then you see players like Mason Mount, when he used to be at Chelsea, he had all the hunger, the passion, and the drive. But now when he's at Man United, it doesn't. I don't know what. I mean, okay, fair enough. He had injuries, but the way he came on last Saturday in the last few matches, it's just like, I'm doing this for the payday. There's no passion. There's no passion at Man United. So, but if you want to compare this to my team, Chelsea, we got rid of a lot of players who didn't want to be at Chelsea. Okay, fair enough. Some of them may want to have a new challenge, and some of them probably didn't like changes. Fair enough. But if you look at our young team, they are hungry and they are passionate and they are, they really want to win games. Okay, despite the last two games where we lost, but they still have that hunger and that drive. And I'm thinking this is the way forward, where where you have hungry players who want to be at the club, who wants to play football for the fans and say, I'm doing this for the fans. I'm doing this for the fans. If we're losing, I hope we can try and go on to win some games. So it is what it is. So, look at Arsenal. Arsenal. What can I say about Arsenal? Arsenal, on their day, they are a good team. When they're not winning, they struggle. They absolutely struggle as a team. I mean, you've got great stadium, but what's going on at Arsenal? I don't understand why you are selling your best players and in the hope that the manager would try and maybe come up with a team and try and win something. And I just look at Arsenal and I'm thinking, Arsenal, you are supposed to be better than this. So I don't understand why are you doing this sort of thing. You only won one FA Cup, and that's your last major trophy. Okay, fair enough. You might say you had your best season last season, being in the semi-finals against Real Madrid. And I'm like thinking, oh, come on. You need to win trophies because you're spending all that money and hope you can win something. But you need to stick with the current players and keep your best players. And try and keep your best players for at least a few seasons. And maybe go on to win something. So, Thierry Henry, a legend at Arsenal, and I think he's right. I think he's right what's going on at Arsenal. But it's the same, it could be said at Man United. They're keeping the players on a very, very expensive wages. And, look at them. Just look at them. They're not playing for passion. Okay, they might have turned up to save the manager's job for one match. But, they need to have consistent wins for Man United. But it is what it is. So, if you have any comments, any questions, any likes, it would be well appreciated. And if you like my content, subscribe if you like. So I'm going to take a sip of water. So, yes. So, what are you all doing right now? Zone, anything? So, yeah, I think despite the injuries at Chelsea, I think the squad should be good enough to win trophies and to be in the top four. I mean, if we lose against Benfica, our fans might turn on the manager. If we lose against Liverpool, I think there will be more troubles ahead. But, we're going into October, and October, this is, for most clubs, when it's October, you should know your team and you should know how to win games by now. You should know where your strengths and weaknesses. So you should really, know what you're doing right now as a manager. And yeah, it's a shame that Graham Potter got the sack because, okay, fair enough, there were rumours of a bust up with some players. There were rumours of, things happening at